Steve, my husband and I are here because we want to see our son. Our surrogate took off halfway through her pregnancy, and we haven't seen her since. Our baby was born, and we've never even seen a picture of him. He's a month and a half old. I don't know what color his eyes are. I don't know if he's got hair. I don't know if he's got all his fingers and toes.
And you're married?
Yes.
Your husband's name is?
Derek.
Okay, how long you guys been married?
We've been married for 5.5 years.
And you're not able to have children of your own?
No, Steve, I had a hysterectomy 2 years ago, and so we can't have any children. My husband doesn't have any children of his own.
So you wanted to provide him?
We wanted to have a child together, and, you know, in December, through a mutual friend, we met our surrogate, Sarah. And we had been talking one day, and I kind of jokingly told her that, you know, I was at the point where I'm willing to let my husband sleep with another woman just so we can have one. And we had taken her in basically off the streets at that point. She was living in her car. And she told us, well, she'd be willing to surrogate a baby for us. She would carry a baby for us because we were helping her. And my husband and I talked about it a couple of days, and we decided, well, we're never going to have an opportunity like this again. So we drew up a contract. We all three signed that contract. And at that point, my husband and Sarah just started sleeping together in my home, in my bed, while I sat in the living room.
How old was the surrogate?
Well, the surrogate was 18 as far as we knew, but we found out she lied to us.
How old was she?
She was 16.
So your husband was sleeping with a 16-year-old?
Yeah.
With your permission?
We didn't know she was 16. She lied to us. We didn't find out until maybe a week before we got confirmation of her pregnancy that she wasn't 18. But this whole incident almost destroyed my marriage.
How old are you and him?
I'm 36. He's 30.
And I think this is the contract here. And the girl that you engaged, she agreed to engage in sexual intercourse with your husband for the sole purpose of conceiving. She was required to have intercourse at least once a day. And she's not, in the contract, not to have sex with anyone but your husband until she conceives, not engage in any risky behavior.
She voluntarily did all of this, Steve.
Right, well,
and she voluntarily lied to us because, you know.
Conceive, carry, give birth to the baby for you guys, and that only yours and your husband's name would appear on the birth certificate. No, she wants no custody or rights. Take care of herself during the pregnancy. And in return for her doing all this, you provide shelter in your home for her for the duration, no less than 3 months after the birth. Provide Sarah with $50 spending money each month she's pregnant. So you have this contract, so what happened?
Well, everything moved really fast. She got pregnant right away, got moved into a bigger home because we were living in a small house at that point. We started planning baby showers, and we started planning the baby's name together. She even helped us finalize which name we were going to give the baby. And then she moved out, and in August, boom, no more Sarah.
She disappeared.
She disappeared, took off with our son. And it's not right. She went back, she went to be with her boyfriend. They have a baby already together. And then he goes and signs our son's birth certificate.
This contract has no force or effect. One, I believe it was entered in with a minor, so right there would make the contract invalid.
She is emancipated, which makes it not invalid.
But this is just a contract between the two of you.
There's
no legal binding. And I don't even know if surrogacy is even legal in the state that you're from. You really have no legal rights to this child then.
My husband does. That's his son. And it is a federal.
But
it's a crime to knowingly lie on identity.
It's not proven.
It's not proven, but we want to prove it.
Okay, but she could say, no, this is my man. It's his child, and too bad. You know what I mean?
But you know what? I don't care what her age is. She knew what she was doing when she signed this contract.
Let's say it like this, and I understand you're very emotional about it, and you entered into something that you really don't even know the person. You'd go through more paperwork and more identification to buy a car than you're doing getting a baby. So we're going to bring out the mother that carried this child, supposedly for you, but changed her mind, decided to keep the child, and let's find out what she has to say. Her name is Sarah. Let's bring her out.
You know what, Sarah? You're a lying little bitch.
What are you talking about? I told you I was 16 when I first asked.
You're a liar.
What are you talking
and you're a
about?
backstabber.
I'm a backstabber?
You know
I'm
what?
a backstabber?
You need to bring to
husband
us.
sat there and enjoyed it. You're
You need to take it back with you and Aaron, and you need to give us our side.
Yeah, I ain't giving you.
You know what?
He's my kid.
No, he is
My
your son. He is my
Mine.
son.
Yeah,
He is
bull.
mine.
You just sat
I have
there and
proof of
freaking
this.
sat on the damn couch.
Hold on. Dawn, I'm going to ask you to leave the stage. I'm going to talk to Sarah, and we'll bring you back at some point. So I see the story. Dawn comes on the show and produces this contract that they produced between you and her and her husband. You were 16 at the time?
Yes, sir.
And did they have any idea how old you were?
Yes, I told him when she first asked me.
The first time she asked you how old you were, you said...
I was 16 years
So
old.
she knew you were 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
She turned around and told me to lie to everybody else that asked my age, to say I was 18.
She asked you to lie to everybody?
Yes.
And so it was a little rough for you. You didn't have a place to stay.
And I didn't have a place to stay, and I had my 2-year-old son with me.
You had a 2-year-old son at this point, 16 years old, don't have a place to stay. You're legally emancipated. You met Dawn and her husband. What happened?
Like she said, we started talking and everything else, and she sat there and started saying that she wanted a baby. And then she would not quit harassing me. She kept calling my cell phone, my friends, and everything else.
And she was calling you and asking you what?
She kept calling and asking me to go over to her house, and I kept trying to avoid her.
And she wanted you to go over to her house for what purpose?
To have sex with her husband.
She's saying, hey, Sarah, come over and have sex with my husband.
No, she was sitting there saying, why don't you come over and we'll smoke a little pot and whatnot and hang out and talk and everything else. And yes, I did agree to do the turkey baster. But then her husband turned around and
Wait,
said,
hold. What does the turkey baster mean?
like, he sits there and ejaculates into a condom, and then they get that turkey baster, squeeze it out, and then inject it into me.
Did you agree to the turkey baster?
Yes, I did, and then she turned around and told her husband that I did agree with her about that. And then he turned around and he said, well, this is going to be my baby. I want some part of it. I'm not going to do the turkey baster. I want to have sex with her.
Why did you, when they brought this to you, you agreed to it, or?
I didn't agree to have sex with him, no. I told her I'd have to think about it, and then I just kept ignoring her phone calls. She sat there.
But eventually, at some point, you agreed to it?
I agreed to it because she knew I didn't have a place, and I had my 2-year-old kid. I didn't have a job. I had no money, no nothing, and I was homeless. And I love my son very much, and I want to do anything I possibly can just to support him.
So, but you were feeling pretty awkward about having to sleep with Dawn's husband.
Every time that I would end up sleeping with him, I could not even look at him. I ran out of the house crying every time we were done. He kept asking me to see if it felt good. And one time when she left, he sat there and he was like, well, would you ever come back to me, non-business, and have sex with me again?
For the purpose other than having a child, would you have sex with me?
Yes.
What are you hoping happens today?
That they'll leave me alone.
You want them to leave you alone?
I want my life back.
You want your life back. We offered to give you a DNA test to prove, between your boyfriend and Derek, and you refused. And why did you refuse?
Because no matter what, I'm still going to want my kids. I love them anyways. I will do anything for them. And honestly, I really do believe that he is Aaron's.
Let's bring out Dawn's husband, Derek.
Why are you lying?
Why am I lying? You
Yes.
sat there and you liked it. When your wife left, you told me that if I would ever business and
You're
have
lying
sex
about
with you.
everything.
And how was that? Huh?
You're lying about how old you
No,
told.
I told you to.
Bull!
No,
You
I did
told
not.
us you were 18.
No, I didn't.
And you're the one that offered
I
it.
was 16. I sat there and said, I
Bull.
wanted to do a turkey-based wedding. You
Bull.
sat there and you're like, no, I want to have consensual
Bull.
sex with her.
Derek, I tried to give you a way to, just to come out and say it. And you should say it because nobody is going to believe I wanted the natural act or whatever you were saying. I must be smoking pot if I believe that story. You wanted to have sex with a 16-year-old.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Do you really believe that you're the father of her child?
Yes.
And why do you believe that?
Because the time lines up, and I know Aaron ain't the father.
How? How do you know that?
Because they weren't even dating at the time.
Well, she was sleeping with him.
She was sleeping with somebody else, not Aaron.
Well, then maybe that guy could be the father.
Doubt it.
Why?
Because
Your boyfriend's here? Yes. And just so Derek hears this from your mouth, the same time you were having sex with Derek, you were also having sex with your boyfriend.
Yes.
Okay, let's bring your boyfriend out. You believe that you're the father? Yes. And knowing that she was in a very tough position.
Yeah, she was in a really
you
terrible
can see
position.
on her face, this isn't something that she enjoyed. She felt like it was her only option. And
She did what she could to
And
support
your
the baby.
feeling about this whole situation with Derek and Dawn with your girlfriend. What's your feelings on it?
What they did was wrong. You guys are perverts. Go after girls, young girls, to have a baby for you. You could have went out there and adopt a baby. Oh, maybe you couldn't. That's why you went that way. Do it under the law. But guess what? I'm stepping in. You're not.
that's my child.
That's my son.
No, it's not. It's
Yes,
mine.
he is. He's my son.
No, it's my
Oh,
son.
hell, he is not.
First of all, Aaron, how
You stay
dare you
away.
sign my son's birth certificate?
No,
You're
he's
nothing
my
but a
son.
piece of
You're
support your own son
Get shorter.
when your girlfriend was living in my house.
He's my son.
You want this?
I don't have to.
There
He's
can be
my
a DNA
son.
test. If it's not Derek's
don't
baby,
even
we'll
try.
leave him the
You're
hell
never gonna
alone.
know.
And you know what? It is a federal crime
Yeah, you're
to
looking for
knowingly
30
lie
years.
on
You're
a
looking for
birth
40.
certificate. So I will be pursuing that.
Go for it.
Bye. And you know what? This is a serious matter. All of you need to stop laughing. Take it seriously.
We get to expose people on this show. We get to expose them for what they are. And you two pathetic, despicable human beings on my stage who want to speak about morality and doing the right thing and she should give her child to you and this is the right thing to do. You two predators preyed on a young girl in one of the weakest moments of her life, being homeless, and you want a child, you don't ask for an ID or take her to a doctor's appointment. All you are concerned with, you and your fantasy land world in your head, thinking that you're somehow gonna walk away with a child with this, and him getting everything that he wanted, sex with a young girl. So that's what you got. What did you come here for? The Steve Wilkos show was gonna help you take her child away from her and give to you two knuckleheads? This is what we do know. She's the mother, and as far as I'm concerned, you're dad.
Thank you.
And if I was able to do it legally, I'd throw you off my stage physically. But I can't do that, so for now, get your asses off my stage. I hope all your hard times are over, but you need to stick together now.
That's
and
what we
not
are.
let predators come into your life and take advantage of you, take advantage of her, and certainly never take advantage of your children. Do the best that you can, and if you need help with your children, if you need help, and I understand being young, especially as you are, And being in that situation, you need to reach out and get help, but don't reach out to the creeps in the world. Reach out to the people that really want to help you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.